Alright, guys. I know it's been a little bit sporadic for me getting videos up. Work schedule's been a little hectic. But here we go, jumping right into it. And I've been watching a lot of videos, a lot of vlogs about people talking about 40K tactics. So I'm thinking maybe it's something I should also jump into. Speaking from my personal experience. And the first tactic I'm going to talk about is really what I feel is a part of the game that will make or break. And that's the deployment. And that's the one part of the game that playing 40K I hate the most because at the top of turn 1 you might as well take a picture because that's when your army is going to be the strongest. That's when it's at its best. And a lot of people feel that what army you're playing will determine whether or not you win or lose. So if you're playing, we'll say, Necrons versus Orcs, hey, Necrons, you have a better chance at winning than Orcs do. But I don't believe that. I honestly believe that the difference between winning and losing starts in the deployment phase. The reason I say that is very, very simple. We'll take Space Marines versus Chaos Space Marines. That's probably the best example. If you're the Space Marine player, you know what your opponent's bringing. They have a lot of shenanigans that simply will take away your armor save, take away invuln saves, or force invuln saves if you got them. They take away cover saves. They have weapons that hit you on 2s instead of 4s. And that may be a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's close. But we'll just say you're the Space Marine player. You know this. You know exactly what your opponent has. And you roll off to see who will deploy first. You win the roll-off. Now, there's two ways of thinking about this. There's one, you win the roll-off, and you deploy first. Because you're looking at the table. The terrain on your side of the table actually works to your favor. You have some ruins, or tier level ruins that you can put a couple of Devastator squads in. You've got some nice little pieces of terrain that can keep your attack squads in. His side of the table, excuse me, I keep yawning. His side of the table, plenty of spots that you can deep strike Terminators or drop a couple of drop pods. More than enough room to get your 2 Storm Talons in. Maybe you've got an area along, we'll just say the left side of the table that you can take a couple squads of bikes. And this is all, if you got high level points, 2,000, 2,500 points. So you deploy first. So now you get first turn. which, in a way, oh, excuse me, yawning again, which in a way gives you a chance to try and dictate the tempo, dictate the pace of the game. However, we'll just say you lose the roll-off, and your opponent will decide to deploy first. That's not a bad thing either, because if it's an army you're struggling with, and I am a proponent of this, if you're struggling against an army, like for me, I struggle against Chaos, I struggle against Tau, in a way, I don't mind letting them deploy first, because where they set up gives me a chance, based on what I'm bringing in my list, to try and counter as best I can. Now granted, Tau is one of the harder armies to try and counter because they have a lot more firepower than Marines, Necrons. But at least you can try and counter. And hope that you can seize the initiative. And that seize the initiative can really be while it can be a game changer, it can also backfire. I recently played a game. It was a 1,000 point game. My Space Marines, my Imperial Fists, taking on Imperial Guard. Guard won the roll-off, they deployed first, I counter-deployed, and I successfully seized the initiative. But the problem was, I took enough losses and was down enough points in the Maelstrom mission that I really needed it to go another 1 or 2 turns just to have a fighting chance. Because by this time, my Terminators finally got deep struck to where I needed them to go. My Assault Marines managed to take out 2 or 3 models, but that was about it. And the Storm Talon was slowly wrecking face, but it was not really easy. But deployment is so key in determining whether or not you're going to win or lose a battle, in my opinion, that you really have to think long and hard about, okay, I win the initiative, or I win deployment. Do I take that deployment, or do I let them deploy first and take a gamble and see that I can seize the initiative and maybe take that momentum and that advantage, take your opponent's ability to dictate the tempo of the game and put it and change it to where now I'm dictating the tempo of the game, even though they've got first turn.